back in 1974. This had just been dredged, and it was the first time I'd ever been to Bounds Farm, which is near Bournemouth Airport. There's a lot of aircraft noise. The river's moved 20 yards from where it was back then, and where I fished then is now dry land. I'm going to get the old gear from 1974. Let's see how I get on. I've moved about 100 yards upriver. Where I fished before there's a fallen tree and it's very restricted, very hard to film it at all. Here the bank's done the opposite thing. It's eroded about 30 yards. This was a fairway on a golf course up until a year or so ago, but they lost so much land they gave up. The big trees in the background over to my to the right on the screen there didn't exist at all even 40 years ago, but they've grown up just from self-set seedlings. I'm using an Abu Marks 6 rod dating from the mid-70s and an Abu 506 reel with a Pacemaker float taking about 4 BB. I used to like these floats a lot. Since then I've got used to using lighter stick floats, but this pacey swim justifies it. Notice the incredibly long handle on the Abu Marks 6 with over a foot behind my elbow. The strike on this rod is quite slow compared to modern carbon rods, but it hits bites okay, and it plays fish alright. I had huge bags of dace and roach back in the 70s on this rod. It does feel heavy. It's 14.5 ounces. Most modern carbon match rods now of 13 foot are 6 ounces or even less. Some are under 5 ounces. And if it's really windy, that thick butt catches the wind. But I'm catching dace and roach, a little dace here. After 3 hours fishing with this rod, forearm was aching. I'm not used to it. It's woken up some old muscles. I think if you fished with one for 2 or 3 months, you'd soon get used to it properly. Back in the day we fished wagglers with these rods, stick floats, canal fishing, you name it, we did it. And we caught lots of fish. Nice little roach there. It's not a very quiet part of the river. There's building work going on in the background. There's a constant industrial hum from something. Lots and lots of planes because we're so close to the airport. Plenty of traffic noise as well, and just occasionally some wildlife. I think it's good fun to dig out this old gear occasionally, maybe a couple of times a season, and just have a fish. Don't worry about what you catch, just use it the same way you would a modern rod. If you've got an old fiberglass match rod, a good one, gathering dust in a dark corner of the garage or loft, dig it out, check the rings aren't damaged so that they damage your line. Maybe find an old reel to go with it. I think you need that long butt to counteract the weight of the rod. Because I fished maggots for part of this session as well as hempen tares, I had over 70 fish in 3 hours, so I can still pull them out quick enough if I want to with the old stuff. Didn't seem to bump too many fish either, bumped 1 or 2 but not that many. Well, that's it for this nostalgia trip. Still pulling out a few fish. I'll probably dig this rod out again before too long just for fun. And enjoy your fishing.